Right, so welcome to this 10th edition game of Warhammer 40,000. So at the time of filming, we're not allowed to go into points values here. I guess I can give you the total, but I can't go into individual points costs. So we're running this at about 750 points in 10th edition. So we're limited what armies we can use. We can use Tyranids at the moment, and then also Space Marines. So they're going to take on the Imperial Fists. I've started a new army here, so I've already have Tyranids. We're going to run a second Hive Fleet here, Hive Fleet Leviathan, boasting some of the new models. So before we take a look at the Tyranids, it's gold level Patreons. We'll call out their name at some point during the game and also use their Patronic gold level dice. At the end of the battle, I'll call out the silver level Patreons, and then you can check out the end credits for all the Patreon supporters, including those supporting at bronze. Head over to our Patreon page. It helps in three ways now. So it supports SSWG Wargames Club, also helps support the channel, and also helps to form the Astra Militarum Garrison Army for Patreon. So starting to use Patreon funds to gradually build up a brand new Astra Militarum Army for the channel. So if you want to help support the channel, help the formation of the new Guard Army and support SSWG Wargames Club, where I already got into Wargaming, got into 40k. A number of years ago, then join us over on the Patreon page. So this is our first game of 10th edition, so it's going to be as a learning curve for those watching and for ourselves as we're playing. Mike Sue's going to run the Space Marines here for this game, and I'm going to run the Tyranids. So a lot of these are just fresh off the painting desk, got some finishing touches still on these gaunts, but all these units across here are finished. And the aim is to go for a full-on 2,000 point brand new army for Hive Fleet Leviathan. So we're a good, nearly half the way there. This is about 750 points. As I said, points values is to come later on, so I'm not going to go into points values for these units, but you're looking at about 750 points in total. So, no particular order, I'll run through these units. 2 units of gaunts, 2 squads of 10. Then add a squad of Neuro gaunts. They have been joined by a Neuro Tyrant. It's a leader model and it's allowed to join that squad, so they're going to work together. Then I've got a Winged Tyranid Prime across here. He's going to be the Warlord in this game. I then have some Barb Gaunts, a squad of 5. 3 Von Ryan's Leapers. Very, very quick. Lots of attacks available with those. I then have a Psychophage across here. This hungry, gobbling thing that likes to eat Space Marines, very appropriate for this battle. And then really the centerpiece of the army, it's the Screamer killer here, ripping and raring to go. So the Tyranid models that you can see, they've been painted up using contrast. I've worked on an enhanced contrast method. I'm happy enough with the results. There is a full tutorial for the Screamer killer that's live on the channel. And so there he is in all his glory. And within that tutorial, it's a longer one, just showing you all the details of how to paint this thing up. Included within that is a basing tutorial as well. So if you like the basing here on this model, I'll show you exactly how that's done, just to build it, paint it, all the effects and so on is all covered in that video. So do check out that painting tutorial there for the Screamer Killer. It's quite a magnificent thing. Looks like it's crawled up straight out of the sea. Then there's also a painting tutorial for the new Tyranid Prime. So this model here, if you like the look of him, then you can follow that tutorial on. And then there is also a third tutorial. If it's not live yet, it should be soon, and that's for the Hormagaunts. So that's a quicker tutorial. The process is the same, just showing you how it's done on a number of different models. The sculpts here from Games Workshop are glorious, fantastic new models, so very exciting time for Tyranids. Always liked the Leviathan colour scheme, and so this has been an excuse to start another Hive Fleet here. So that's the army. We've allocated Phoenix Lords and Autarchs here. There's something else to point out. We've taken an enhancement. We've gone for adaptive biology. We've put it onto the Tyranid Prime, be the Warlord here for this game. So it's Tyranid's model only. The bearer has the Feel No Pain, 5+ ability. And if we've got less than half the number of wounds remaining, it goes to 4+ Feel No Pain. It's just to try and add a bit more durability to him. So Phoenix Swords have been allocated. Here's a couple of Autarchs. They've gone over with Mike onto the Space Marines. So Phoenix Swords, top level support on the channel. You can join us on the WhatsApp group. There's a number of other perks. But they also get allocated to units, all of our battle reports. So you can follow a unit around and see how well it gets on in the game. So Longbow BB and Daniel Cunningham onto the Gaunts squads here. JP is something sneaky, and Gene Stealer Colts player, so put him onto the Von Ryans Leapers. Nate Miller onto the Psychophage. Andrea Sturr onto the Barb Gaunts. Lucas Brown onto the Warlord here, the Winged Tyranid Prime. Amy Almo onto the Neuro Gaunts, and then Ben Shaw onto the Neuro Tyrant. And then sharing is caring here. It's Gut B and Chris Comiskey. They're going to take the big Screamer Killer here. Perhaps 2 claws each. Yes, those two are going to share. Just we're running a smaller game, so we've had to double up with 1 or 2 of the Phoenix Swords together on the Screamer Killer. That's the list here for the Tyranids. Ripping and raring to go. Brand new edition. We're hoping to get the rules mostly right. Do check out the comment section. Let us know if we've got rules wrong or interpreted them wrong and so on, missed things. It's a learning curve for us, a learning curve for everybody. We're looking forward to this. We'll see how 10th edition goes. We'll give you our feedback as to how the game feels and plays as we go along and at the end of the game. We'll take a look now and see what the Space Marines have in their list. Alright, so roughly 750 points of Space Marines. It is the Imperial Fists, very much like in this army here at the moment. The aim is to go for 2,000 points. I've got a couple of units on the painting desk. I haven't used all the models that I do have available, and then there's the remaining part of the army is currently with Siege Studios. So very much looking forward to getting to 2,000 points, pure Primaris, Imperial Fists, and what a great contrast there'll be against Hive Fleet Leviathan. So even the armies are based the same basing method on both of the armies as well. So looking forward to seeing the progress with the Imperial Fists. So for them, running a Chaplain on a bike with an Outrider squad, and he's the leader of that squad, he's joined them. Then across here, a squad of 5 Heavy Intercessors, the Heavy Bolter option being taken on one of the models. And then they've been joined by a Gravis Captain who's taken the Relic Blade and the Relic Heavy Bolt Rifle. 2 squads of Intercessors, 2 squads of 5, and then finally a Redemptor Dreadnought with the Macroplasma Incinerator and taking the Fist. So then Mike's gone for Artificer Armour. You can take a number of enhancements, but you have to pay for them in points, and there's enough points to put Artificer Armour onto the Gravis Captain across here. So 2 up armor save and a 5+ feel no pain. So durability on him, he's going to be the Warlord here for the Imperial Fists. So Phoenix Lords, a couple of Autarchs. So squad leaders, Midnight Miniatures onto the Sergeant here for the Heavy Intercessors. Vagabond in charge of the whole squad. BPP Wargaming onto the Captain, the Warlord here for this game. Peter Grant onto the Dreadnought here. Perhaps a remedy for the Tyranid monsters, we shall have to see. And then Mephisto, Michael Fryer onto the 2 Intercessor squads of 5. Dylan Morby, Sergeant Moore for the Bikers. The squad is led by Paint Lickers Paint Pot, Phoenix Lord. And then finally it's Ray Cross. Chaplain Cross is back here for 10th edition. Space Marines, tougher, more durable than the Tyranids. They are outnumbered. But Tyranids boast some nasty monsters here. It certainly will be an experimental battle to see how potent the Tyranids are and how resilient the Space Marines can be. Alright, so that's the 2 armies. We'll go on to scenario and deployment for this battle. Alright, so we have a scenario. For our first game ever, we're going to go to the standard mission inside the Leviathan rulebook. So when you come to missions here, you flip over, you've got a mission here called Only War. So this could be the only time we ever play this one. So we're going to play it here right at the start. It's just a basic mission. There's your deployment zone across there. Mike selected to deploy across here. Armies are 24 inches away from each other. Yellow dice marking the deployment zone for the Imperial Fists. Tyranids marking their deployment zone across here. There's 4 objectives on the board. These aren't fixed. The players choose where they go. Mike won the roll-off, so he placed his first objective, and then we've alternated placing objectives on the board. I've placed one here for the Tyranids, nicely tucked within their deployment zone, a home objective. I've pushed one out into no man's land. I'm going to try and go quite aggressive with the Tyranids. I've put one further up in this direction. Oh, look, Frank's watching over it here. So he always finds himself in the wrong place on the battlefield. And then across here, Mike's got a home objective tucked away here at the back, and there's another one between the buildings across there. So 4 objectives on the board. Victory points are very, very straightforward for this game. So turn 2 onwards, as at the end of each player's command phase, you had to be on the objective previously and in control of it. The player whose turn it is scores 1 victory point for each objective marker they control, to a maximum of 3 victory points per turn. That is the only way of picking up points here in this game. There's no secondaries or anything else going on. So it's all about objective control in this battle. Nice and straightforward. Both armies seek to dominate the battlefield. Then for terrain, it can look quite complex on the board, but again, we're going to keep this nice and straightforward. So we're going to class all of this stuff. These structures across here and here, these containers, the buildings across the other side, we're going to run them, and it's appropriate here. Hills, industrial structures, sealed buildings, and armoured containers. They all fit within this category. Units pay inches to climb up. You measure across and down and so on. Winged units such as the Tyranid Prime, you can just go diagonal when he makes his moves, so he's a bit quicker leaping over these structures. Normal rules for visibility apply, and then the benefits of cover. So if you've got models that are partly obscured or tucked away behind the terrain, then they'll get the benefit of cover, which is +1 to the armor save and throw. Nice and straightforward. But that can't be improved beyond a 3+. A 3+ is the best save that you can get. For Mike Space Marines, if they're hit by AP -1, for example, when they drop to 4+ save, but they're getting the benefits of cover, then they can go back up to a 3+. But it can't get better than 3+. So the Marines, for example, can't get a 2+ save in cover. So there is that limitation with how effective cover can be. But cover rules nice and straightforward. Mission nice and straightforward here, and it can give us a bit more of a chance to enjoy the mechanics of the game, as opposed to getting tied up with the missions. So we hope to get into the full-on missions and so on as we get more and more into 10th edition. So that is the scenario. Terrain's been clarified. Armies are ready to go. We'll start alternating placing units on the board next. Right, so I mentioned the Batamat and terrain that we're using in this game. So Batamat is from GameMat.eu. 6x4 in size, just marked off the edge here for this game. They do have these Batamats in the 60 by 44 inches. So nice and soft, figure friendly as well. Models fall over nice and quiet for dice rolling. Rolls out nice and flat, and then you roll it up and it comes with a carry bag as well. And then we're also using the industrial terrain set from GameMat.eu. So pre-painted. I've adjusted the paint scheme on this to create a different theme. But pre-painted terrain sets available from them. So you can check out GameMat.eu for those supplies. There's a link for them in the video description below, and also a discount code that you can use. Alright, so deployment done here for both sides. We'll cover the Tyranids first of all. So Neuro Gaunts and Neuro Tyrant deploying here, right up to the edge of the deployment zone. It's set to go in that direction. Well, the last units I placed was the Screamer Killer, just watching to see where the Dreadnought and other units were, but it's gone here. Again, getting ready to push across in this direction. One squad of Gaunts here, one squad of Gaunts here. One of the rules for 10th edition is you can't place models physically onto objectives. So you had to leave a little gap across here. Then Barb Gaunts to their left. The Prime, now he's not been able to join it. I don't have an appropriate unit. I do have a unit of Gargoyles that's arrived. I don't want to put him with a swarm of Gargoyles. I just think it look very, very cool. But he's not attached to any unit here. So I reckon he's just going to be shot at as normal. So be careful with him as he goes alone. The Psychophage on the left-hand side, just that monster around the corner. And we do have an infiltrating unit. So the Von Ryan's Leapers, they've pushed right deep up the board here, almost encroaching into the deployment zone for the Imperial Fists. They're there. Imperial Fist units just at the other end of the building. So early infiltration by the squad. So maybe I'll zoom in so you can see them. There they are, lurking and waiting to pounce. Then for the Imperial Fist, the Dreadnoughts here on this objective, so too is an Intercessor squad. Intercessors have the rule where they can control an objective, then move off, and it still remains under their control. So you could see the Imperial Fist push forwards and leave their objectives here at the back. Perhaps then across the other side on the extreme right-hand side is the Chaplain, the Bikers, the other Intercessor squad, and then the Heavy Intercessors with the Captain who is leading them. And that's deployment done. So it's all about objectives in this game. Nice and straightforward. Tyranids have a plan. I'm sure Mike has a plan as well. We'll see how the battle goes. And they're gone. So we've put them back here. You have to be 9 inches away. For infiltrators, it's 9 inches away or more from enemy models and the enemy deployment zone. So there you go. We've corrected that. So those of you that were typing in the comment section, you can He can stop typing. We picked that one up. But there'll be other mistakes here for sure that we don't detect. So we're ready to go. There's a couple of abilities declared once we know who's going first, but we'll cover that in just a moment. So roll up to see who goes first. Mike says he doesn't mind if the Tyranids go first. Don't really have any long range firepower. He wants the Tyranids to reveal themselves a bit more. So we shall see.
Yeah.
A 2, a 4, you're going first. Space Marines to go first. They're going to make the first move here on the hunt here for Tyranids. Mike's not too happy with that one, but it's just a practice game, as you know, just the very first game of 10th edition on the channel. So yeah, there is a bit of pride at stake here. See if the Space Marines can teach the Tyranids a lesson, or see if they can be devoured. We shall see. So we know who's going first. A couple of bits to declare here before we go on to the first turn of the game. So we're going for the start of the first battle round. We're going to go for hyper-aggression. Just going to try and make it a bit of help to try and take on the Dreadnought here. So monsters and vehicles, lethal hits coming through. So 6 is to hit auto wound. Just try and give myself a little bit of an edge against that Dreadnought. So that's that ability that will go ahead for the whole game. I should really go for Swarming Instincts and pop extra hits against infantry, but I just want a bit of extra edge against that Dreadnought. So that's it, we're ready to go. We'll go on to the first turn of the game. The Imperial Fists will make the first move. Alright, so on turn 1 for the Space Brains, just going to kick off with this one here, Shadow in the Warp. So if your army's Tyranids, once per battle in either player's command phase, we'll do it now in Mike's command phase. If one or more units from your army with this ability is on the battlefield, you can unleash the Shadow in the Warp. When you do so, when you do, each enemy unit must take a Battle Shock test. So Mike can make Battle Shock tests here for his army. And then, just to add something else, the Neuro Tyrant. So yeah, it says here, Psychic Terror. If one or more Neuro Tyrants from your army is on the battlefield when you unleash Shadow in the Warp, subtract 1 from the Battle Shock test. Each enemy unit on the battlefield must take as a result. So it's Battle Shock tests across the board, and it's -1 to the result. All right, so we're going to roll up these Battle Shock tests. We've got some questions here already. What about the chaplain? He's attached to the bike squad. We reckon, talking about lead, looked at what it says for leaders. For all rules purposes, they are counting as separate units. We reckon, even though he's part of the unit, each is going to have to take a battle shock test. The bikers are going to have to take a battle shock test, so too is the chaplain. Because battle shock means that you count as 0 for controlling objectives. You can't place stratagems on that model as well, on that unit. So there's limitations, but it means the chaplain can still move around the bikes, fight, charge, and carry on with them. It's not like he's going to be left behind. So I reckon that's the correct way to do it. So battle shock for every unit, whether they're attached or not. That's the way we're going to play it. Correct us if we're wrong in the comments section, but we can't find anywhere where it says where a leader joins the unit, use his morale for the unit's morale purposes and so on. We can't find that. So we reckon it's individual roles. So you could have a situation where, you could have a situation, Mike, where you've got like your chaplain has passed morale, he's going to hold the objective, but his squad's battle shocked. It could work out that way. So we'll play it that way. Correct us if we're wrong, but just an observation there about the new rules for morale with battle shocks. Mike's going to take these tests here. The average score he's going to need is 7 in total. Or 7, in total.
Well, the Redemptive Dreadnought is 6, so with your -1, he has 7 or higher.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So he's passed.
Dreadnought's good.
Intercessors.
7 again.
No, so they're battle shock.
The battle shock, so Mike's got an appropriate marker for them. Okay. The heavy intercessors.
Yeah.
Mike's annoyed because he wanted that squad to, to hold the objective. 6 with them, so I think they have failed.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're battle shocked as well. It's your Shadow in the Warp here. Yeah, the Captain, the Warlord, Gravis. He's battle shocked as well. Oof. Okay.
So this is working out well for you.
Yeah, the other intercessor squad, they've passed. All right, so they carry on.
Bikers.
The bikers. 7, they're passed just about. And the chaplain, who should pass to some of his excellent morale, he's fine as well. Okay, so happy enough over on that flank, but around here, a bit of morale issues going on with battle shock taking place for a number of units. So battle shock lasts until the start of the next command phase. None of Mike's units are below half strength, so not going to have to test again unless they do get to below half strength, but it just disappears. So it's going to last for the turn, and then that battle shock's removed. So it is temporary at this stage, and whether the Tyranids are right to play that now, I just want to play it now whilst most units are on the board. But there could be, like from a tactical point of view, there could be a certain point in the game when you play it. Like if there's a fight for an objective, would probably be more potent to disrupt stuff at this stage. So I'll bear that in mind for the future. But there's been an exhibition there of the way Shadow in the Warp can work. And the Neuro Tyrant chipping in there with that -1 just makes it a little bit harder to pass those tests. But interesting stuff here. Shadow in the Warp's kicked off, maybe a bit early, but we've seen that being used. And its potency as well for disrupting objectives. To have half your army lose objective control, it could cause trouble. Mike's got his bases covered well, so he's okay here. But in the middle of a game, at a certain point, it could cause a bit of trouble. All right, so command phase we've done. We've moved on to movement phase as well. So in the command phase, Mike has Oath of Moment scored, isn't it? He selected this unit across here. Mike can reroll hits and wounds, which is particularly potent here. It's one of the strong trademarks here for the Space Marines. They can pick on a certain unit and then go after it with all their fury.
And no tactical doctrines picked this time.
Yeah, there's tactical doctrines are available. There's 3 of them. You get them once per game. Mike's going to save them and use them another time. And then movement, I'll go into the other side of the board and you can see the Space Marine moves. Mike shifted it across to his right-hand flank. That's where the emphasis is going to be. So bikers swinging around. They've just made a regular move. Mike does have range to shoot with them against the Psychophage across there. Then the Intercessor squad has moved through onto here. This Intercessor squad, because it's battle shocked, Mike wants to retain it on the objective for now so that it can then count as holding it and then move off later on. And then the Dreadnought has moved across to here to lend some fire support in this direction. Again, Mike's going after his target that he's picked, the Psychophage across the other side. And then Heavy Intercessors moving on top here to gain a vantage point, shoot across here. None of this terrain is obscuring. We're not playing ruins here, so you can physically see through and you'll be able to shoot at targets so they can pick up the benefits of cover. So that is movement done. We're going to shooting phase next. So Psychophage is about to be shot. We all know the shots are coming. There is rapid regeneration stratagem here. It gives me a 6 up feel no pain. If I'm in sign-ups range, which I'm not actually, I get a 5+ feel no pain. But the Psychophage has Adds a built-in feel no pain across here anyway, so 5+ to ignore wounds coming through. Mike's going to declare the first unit to shoot it. Chaplain to shoot first, Chaplain cross. Just 2 shots.
2 shots on 3s.
And it can be re-rolled.
2 hits.
So I am toughness 9, would you believe?
I am strength 4.
6 is to wound, it's re-rollable.
6 is the one re-roll.
Tough old beast.
We've got 1.
Does get a wound, okay.
-1.
Yeah, and then you've played a stratagem on me.
Storm of Fire.
Storm of Fire, stripping cover away. So we'll go, it will be a proper -1 coming through, which will mean it's a 4-up save. For all my saves, I think there's going to be a few. I will call upon, where is he? Carl Roden. Tyranid player. 4+ to start us off. Yeah, it's neared. Alright, so we'll take a wound. And the Psychophage is a 10 wound model, so we will drop to 9 wounds remaining. The damage process has begun. So we'll stick that over there. It's got 9 wounds left. So Mike's firing the bikers next. They get twin linked, but Mike's re-rolling wounds anyway because of the ability for the Space Marines re-rolling hits and wounds on that target over the moment. So 3s for hits.
Yep.
And it's all re-rollable. It's very accurate firepower here. And then we're looking for 6s to wound.
6s, yep.
And it's all re-rollable. 3 6s. Mike's doing
-1.
well with the dice here. Yeah, 4s for saves. So Carl Roden here. Come on, Carl. 2 more wounds come through. Dropping down to 7 wounds left. Good shooting from the bikers. Actually not bad. But a lot of that can be because of that reroll that's been granted. So good tactical use of that. And you can see that for Space Marines. Just pick a target and it's going to be in serious trouble. If you allocate reroll hits and wounds, it's going to be mightily useful in games. Right, Mike's using the Andrew Swan gold level Patreon dice on the heavy intercessors. You can see them across the other side. They've clambered up to the top across here. There they are. And they're going to unleash their firepower into the Psychophage. It's had its cover stripped away. This beast on the flank has been isolated here by the Space Marines. They're going to try and gun it down. Mike's going to try and do it this turn. So this is the heavy bolter option from the heavy intercessors.
Oh.
Looking for... Well, you could be 4s because you moved, yeah.
Oh, no, it'll be 5s because I moved.
Yeah, heavy weapon moving,
yeah.
-1.
You want 2 hits. Okay. Strength 5. 5s.
5s to wound, yeah. Rerollable. There's 1. And there's 2. Well done.
-1, 2 damage.
Okay, Carl Roden again. Blocks that 1, but 1 makes it through. So we drop down to 5 wounds left. And I've just remembered my Feel No Pain. So we'll do the Feel No Pain on the 5 wounds that have made it through. Thanks, Carl. You're a hero. So 3 wounds back up to 8. Yeah, it's 5+ for him. He's tough enough for Psychophage. It can take a bit of a beating here. It's absorbing damage.
So you are fading to...
We've only just started this edition and Mike's starting to get agitated by this new Tyranid beastie. He's over there. We'll zoom in. There it is. It has a taste for Space Marines. I'll say that, but it's some distance away, so you're safe enough. The next is the bolt rifles, the heavy bolt rifles.
So 3s to 4s.
Okay, these could do it. Are they damage 2, these things?
Damage 1.
They're damage 1. Oh. Rerolling, okay. 5s to wound. And rerollable. Just the 1. We'll make a Carl Roden save, which we do not, so a wound is taken. 5+ for no pain. No, so that wound does go through. It's dropping down to 7. But this beast is quite healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have any stratagems where I can regain wounds. The wounds you're causing, I'll not get back. But it's proven tricky enough to cause those wounds in the first place. I think we're going to go on to the Dreadnought next.
The only thing left, yeah.
Yeah. This will give the Space Marines heart whilst this thing remains alive. Its firepower can be nasty enough. The only thing in range is the Macroplasma Incinerator.
Yeah.
So I'll switch to that next. So Mike's going to supercharge using the Marcus Symphony dice.
So D6 +1.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good roll.
So 2, 4.
Marcus Anthony. He's a Dark Angels player. He's also a High Fleet Behemoth Tyranids player. Okay, but he's on your side today. Number of 3s, maybe 4s. I guess it's a heavy weapon.
No, 3s.
Okay,
Blast and hazardous.
Okay, so you don't want 1s for hitting, otherwise some mortal wounds will come through.
Yeah, well, 3 rollable, so...
Of course it is. Good for you, yes. Alright, well done, Mike. That's a brilliant roll. 5 of comfort is very, very good shooting. Uh-oh.
Strength 9.
Toughness 9, so 4s to wound.
Rerollable. This is where it goes wrong.
That reroll's going to be so helpful. Oh, so helpful. Maxed out.
-4.
-4 strips my armour away. I don't get covered because you scrubbed it with the...
Yeah.
Right, it goes straight through. Oh, no.
3 damage apiece.
15 wounds. All of a sudden, that is some firepower coming from that Dreadnought. This will be the final fling here for Carl Roden. We've kept his dice rolling here. Yeah, there's a gaunt here, right? And I need to... It's been on the camera for a while, so I better explain what's going on. It's meant to be on the board. This dropped off my painting desk and I lost him, but I just found him. So I'm rapidly trying to paint him up as the turns go on here, in between phases, and then I'll slot him back onto the board. I'll put him there for official rules purposes, but you should see a bit of purple going on to him in just a moment when we take a break. So 5+ feel no pain, an incredible roll here, otherwise this thing's going to go. Yeah, no, that's very good. That's destroyed it, Mike. That's caused 11 wounds coming through, so the Psychophage is well and truly gone with wounds to spare. If I'd have had cover, I wouldn't have blocked any, so it wouldn't have made any difference. Well done. Dreadnought's claimed its victim here, and it's excellent shooting from that thing. Good round of firepower. And what's... I'm sorry, but the reroll hit some wounds. That's what did it. Because there was only 1 wound was successful, and Mike turned it into a full house. So that made all the difference for sure. Psychophage removed from play. It's been destroyed. So you'll have to eat Space Marines next time. It's gone. It's been picked on here. Space Marines don't care what kind of beast it is. It just needs to go, and they have destroyed it. But model removed from play. It looks fantastic. It's decent enough, and it's tough enough as well. But it was finally overwhelmed by superior Space Marine firepower. I think that shooting phase finished.
Yeah. No
charges, no combat, so we'll end the turn. All right, so 1 beast down, plenty more to come. End of turn, you pick up points for controlling objectives. Turn 2 onwards at the start of your command phase. Mike finds himself on 2 objectives or not. Yeah, we've got a question about this one because... No, you'll be okay. Because at the start of your next command phase, you won't be battle shocked.
Yeah.
So you'll hold it just about. They'll recompose themselves and Mike will be in control of 2 objectives. So if we're controlling 2 objectives, right, Tyranids are planning to manoeuvre out into this one to hold that one. 1 objective really could sway this game either way. Either the Space Marines defending theirs or the Tyranids trying to hold on to one of theirs. So that'll be the crucial part of this battle in this open war scenario. Turn 1 finishes. We're going to turn 1. Now for the Tyranids. Alright, so turn 1 for the Tyranids. Barb Gaunt's Psychophage is gone, so I've backed them off around here. This flank's open here to mass firepower from the Space Marines. I'd rather not stick them out and expose them, so I'll keep them there. They've moved back round onto the objective. Gaunt's up on the objective. The Winged Prime, I've got to be careful with this model because it's not got a bodyguard unit, so I'm just going to obscure it behind here. So physically hide it away from Mike's shooting. This Gaunt squad's advanced 4, so it's moved up 10. It's rolled a 1 for advancing with the Screamer Killer, so it's moving across this direction, but it's a long old walk if it is going to go after objectives across here. The Leapers rolled a 5 for their advance. You just go straight through pipes now, there's no minus involved, so they've just gone straight around to here. And then the Neuro Tyrant and Neuro Gaunts have advanced over onto this objective, heading across in this direction. That's movement done for the Tyranids. Shooting phase is none. I've nothing in range. Range 18, range 18. Range 18 for those. No charges to take place. Our turn comes to an end. So turn 1 comes to an end. Both sides manoeuvring here. Imperial Fist trying to scoot around that side and doing well enough so far. clearing a path with a blanket of firepower, but there is this kind of blind side going on. Tyranids are trying to take advantage of that and pushing through in this direction. They've got some pretty good units, but they're still some distance away for shooting and closer combat. So Imperial Fist safe for now. See how aggressive Mike decides to go. Whether he will do both, bolster the defences, but make an attack at the same time. We're going to the second turn of the game for the Space Marines next. Alright, so turn 2. Space Marines are going to use aggressive firepower here to try and blunt this Tyranid attack. It's worked out well so far. Once again, Oath of Moment has massive potential here. So Mike's marked this target up. Here the Neuro Gaunts and the Neuro Tyrant. Now this has raised a question about units. Mike's declared against this unit here. He's not allowed to declare against this low model because it's part of an attached unit. Does his reroll hits and wounds apply to everything in the squad? In other words, if he destroys the Neuro Gaunts, which I'll remove from play first, most likely, if they're wiped out, does the ability then continue on to the Neuro Tyrant model? We reckon we're going to play it that it does. We're not entirely sure, so if you know the answer to that one at this early stage of 10th edition, then do let us know in the comment section. If this unit's destroyed, for example, does that ability still go on to this unit across here? We're going to play it that it does. They're all, at the time of Mike's shooting, it's going to be applied to this whole attached unit, so we reckon he can do it. So we'll play it that way, but do let us know if you think otherwise. So I'll maybe go around to the other side, and you can see the Space Marine perspective of the battlefield. So 2 victory points picked up, by the way. Start of Mike's command phase, all battle shock was removed from play, and 2 objectives under his control, so 2 victory points secured. So Marines now have shifted to their left. They'll lay down some firepower in that direction. Other squads shifting across in support. Heavy Intercessors happy to sit where they are and lay down some firepower. Dreadnoughts move through in this direction to offload firepower, and there's more of it available into the advancing Tyranids. And the Bikers, instead of going around in this direction, have joined across here in support of the attack through the middle. They advanced, by the way, and the Chaplain, you can see him hanging around at the back, but he's still within not engage range, he's still within coherence. That's fine, he's still attached to that unit, so all is good. We'll go on to shooting phase next. This is the main target across here, the Neuro Tyrant. There was an advanced roll across here. Mike only rolled a 1, so they've shifted an extra inch, and that's it. I think we're ready for shooting. So Mike's rerolling the hits and wounds against this, for whichever models can see. There's the Von Ryan's Leapers, which are posing a threat as well. So there's a correction from earlier on. I think it was for Mike's Heavy Bolter. We said heavy is -1 to hit rolls. That's an old 9th edition roll, so apologies. It just means that for heavy, it's if you remain stationary, you get +1 to the hit rolls. Is the correct rule. So these are advanced. Advanced just lets you shoot. If you advance, there's no minus to hit rolls. So Mike can hit with 10 attacks, needing 4s because we're stealth.
Oh, nice.
And it's helped. But it's helped a little bit. We're toughness 5. 5's to wound.
5's it?
Yeah.
Just the 1.
The 1 comes through. So -1. We're for cover. We're completely in the open here, so there's no model that can claim any kind of cover. So we'll go for a 4-up save, which we fail, and we shall take a wound. Bikers going into here, going to try and strip away some of these Neuro Gaunts. They're acting as a bodyguard to try and protect the Neuro Tyrant. It does look good, this combination. Imperial Fists against High Fleet Leviathan. Very, very cool. There's some ambitious plans of these to try and bring them up to 2,000 points. Some real ideas I've got. For the other Tyranid High Fleet that I have, the red, yellow, orange colour scheme, there's a certain amount of models and unit types that I have for that. But looking at the Tyranid options, there's a whole host of models, not just these, but other models as well that I've never collected. So I really could come up with something completely different for High Fleet Leviathan. So the idea is to have 2 completely different styles of Tyranids. Just to add to the Imperium's problems here, the channel's been overrun with chaos. Now the Tyranids are adapting and breeding like crazy, so it's all...
Chaos isn't finished.
Chaos isn't finished, that's right. So we're looking for 3s. Yeah.
Reroll.
So the way this terrain works, Mike can fire through, just normal hit rolls. We will gain cover to get +1 to armor save. No, we will not. Mike's played that stratagem again, which strips cover away. Okay.
What's your toughness?
So the other question that raises, you've played it on the Neuro Gaunts.
That squad, yeah.
That squad, I don't think it was. Are we going by the same principle that applies to the character model? He's part of the attached. This is the tricky thing with that one. But something perhaps that needs to be clarified. But anyway, we'll carry on.
What's your toughness?
I think they're toughness 3. They're pretty tame. Yeah, toughness 3.
So 3's rerolling?
Yeah.
Just a 3 -1?
-1. 6 up save, 5 up for cover, back to 6s again. Nothing. So 3 little Neuro Gaunts destroyed. Okay. Oh, it's interesting. In 9th edition, we had to track the number of slain models, but it's just you're just tracking whether you're below half strength, so you don't need to keep a marker there for casualties coming through.
So the heavy bolter from the...
We're going on to heavy intercessors next, yep.
Yep, so...
4s.
4s.
Didn't move. 3s. 6s pop extra hits. And rerolling. Mike can add in an extra hit. Yeah, 4 hits. That's quite good. 3s to wind. Rerolling. 3 come through. -1 again.
-1, yeah.
6s to block. We block none. 3 more casualties. Ouch, the Dakka's starting to come through now. Okay, 6 casualties in total. Which means that squad is not quite. We are at half strength if we're totaling up the total amount for morale. Heavy bolt rifles, 2s to hit. That's still. They don't get sustained hits, though, I don't think.
Nope.
Okay, so they've all hit. This is very accurate. 5 passes is very good, actually. 3s to wind. Yeah, it's all rerollable. So powerful for Space Marines. God, all of them.
Yep.
So your choice, Wraith of Moment, is high impact for sure. We're looking at 6s to block. Mike's going to get the wipe out here if we don't roll really well. Wipe them out. So they've been destroyed. Hold on a second. So we've now got to figure out what's going on here. So there's 5 casualties come through, right, which is going to wipe my squad. So the Neurogaunts are completely gone. That's very, very good news here for Mike to have those go. Tyranids have a stratagem called, it's over here, Endless Swarm. So they can Endless Multitude unit, which they are. And you can restore for a CP D3 plus 3 models back to play. And the idea is that I absorb damage and just keep restoring models. Mike's got the wipe out here. So they're completely gone. That's those 5 wounds that have come through. What happens to these? So I reckon what we'll do is the 3 failed saves that came through, I'll roll these up as 4-up saves on this thing. That's the Neuro Tyrant armor save or invulnerable save. So we'll go for 4 pluses as we go on to that one. I reckon it's formed an attached unit, so Mike can continue to target this thing. And we've rolled 2 saves. So we're going to take a wound on the Neuro Tyrant, and that drops to 8 wounds left. So in hindsight here, and just with the way the Neurogaunts work and they can restore models, it's probably wise for me to allocate some of the wounds coming through to the Neuro Tyrant. If you want to try and keep the Neurogaunts alive, to add that level of protection, to start tanking hits on him, just to keep 1 or 2 models alive for the purposes of restoring models later on. But it's worked out here that the Neuro Tyrant is now alone and starting to take damage. So we're going to play a CP for the Feel No Pain. It's a Synapse creature, so the 5+ Feel No Pain available for him. It's called Rapid Regeneration, is what we've played.
So D3 shots?
Yeah, this is Mike firing here, and he's using Blood Angels Ryan for the gold level Patreon. He's offloading everything from that Dreadnought into the Neuro Tyrant here as a chance to try and take it down. We do have an invulnerable save and a 5+ Feel No Pain, so it'll take a fair bit of effort. I think it depends really on the number of shots coming from that main gun.
I'm saving it for last.
Okay.
So Icarus, 2 shots.
Yeah.
3s. Reroll.
I'm just checking something for you. Yeah, fly keyword. So that I think is going to trigger a bonus for you.
And they fly 2+.
Yeah, 2s to win them. Both go through.
-1, 2 damage.
Okay, so we'll go for 4+ invulnerable save. I need a bit of toughness here. We'll go for Bjork the Zog Puncher. 4 ups. Block both. Oh, that would have been 2 damage a time. Nice. Okay, it's 8 wounds left. It's not over yet for this thing. It is exposed now. Its bodyguard's been stripped away. Mike's now lining up shots for...
Onslaught Gatling Cannon.
Okay.
Devastating wounds.
Okay.
So, 3s. Yep. Rerolling. Is this me being greedy?
Does it have sustained hits, does it?
Devastating wounds.
Devastating wounds, okay. So Mike's going to roll for wounding now, looking for 5s, I would imagine.
Strength 5, yeah.
Strength 5, toughness 8. Oh no, there's 666. These will be mortal wounds. They'll bypass my invuln save. And he's going to fish for 6s. No more. Okay.
No, just...
But there is another wound. Okay, so the wound I'll try and block on a 4+. No. Then I'll feel no pain. The 3 mortal wounds end the wound. We block 1, so 3 wounds come through. So we drop down to 5 wounds left. We are still alive, but we're losing wounds here quickly enough. But definitely in hindsight, try and keep the bodyguard unit alive, even if you start taking wounds onto the Neuro Tyrant. I think that'll be the clever way to play it.
So, Fragstorm Grenade Launcher. D6 for 4.
Okay, 3s.
3s.
All of them. 6s to wound, I think,
yeah.
if you're strength 4.
Strength 4, yep.
There's 1. Okay. 4+. Now, take another wound. Ouch. Dropping down to 4 wounds left.
Feel no pain.
Feel no pain. Thanks, Mike. Dah. Okay, carry on. I think it's your main gun now.
Yeah, so...
Number of shots. This is big. Here we go. 2. +1, right?
Yep.
All right, 3 shots. We could survive. We could survive.
How many wounds have you got left?
4. What damage are you? 3.
3.
Right, I need 2 really good ones. Or two successes to go through.
Can you CP reroll your...
You can. Hit number of shots, yes. Okay, come on, reroll. 2 becomes 2. It sits where it is. So 3 shots needing 3s. Rerollable. Again, this is quite an important roll. Okay. Something else to point out as well. For hazardous, when you shoot, after your shooting's been resolved, it's not ones to hit, but after the shooting's finished, you roll a dice for each model. And if you roll a 1, it's 3 mortal wounds or model slain. It's 3 mortal wounds if it's like a vehicle, or model slain if it's like an infantryman.
Yeah. So 3s. Reroll.
Right, you got your 2 wounds. Well done. We've got a chance to block this on 4+. Blocked 1. And I'll CP reroll another one. Come on. Ah, it goes through. That's 3 damage, right? Feel no pains. Ooh, blocked 2. So we dropped to 3 wounds left. Okay, Neuro Tyrant lives.
It's not working how I thought it was going to go. And then to see if I... Nope.
That's Mike rolling for hazardous. Fine. So it could be a bit out of sync. The captain that's attached to heavy intercessors doesn't matter. I'm going to let him fire through here. So he's going to go after the Neuro Tyrant. 2 hits, yeah. 5's to wound, I'd imagine.
Yeah, strength 5.
No wounds, but it's rerollable.
Nope.
Nothing. Okay. Alright, so Mike was hoping... The main priority was to destroy this thing. It's very, very vulnerable, though. Mike can probably take it down next turn. I've lost my bodyguard. I've taken damage, which I can't restore. So Neuro Tyrant in serious trouble for sure. It does remain on the objective. Quite crucially, actually, for the Tyranids trying to keep hold of objectives and keep those points flowing in. Screamer Killer needs to be at the forefront of your attack. It's out here on a flank and it's got some walking to do to head across in that direction. It may have been more potent if it was perhaps over there to head in this direction. or even here, just a surge straight ahead, but it's coming from a flank and it's a slower progress of that. It's some distance behind. This thing could go into the Dreadnought and really take it on, but it's sadly too far away. No charge allowed across here. Mike did advance, so no charges. I don't think there's anywhere else that can charge, so the turn does come to an end as we prepare to go on to turn 2 for the Tyranids. So turn comes to an end. Casualties not too heavy for the Tyranids. Lost Neurogaunts. They're like a very, very cheap unit, and the Psychophage, we've lost that, but we've still got much of our force available. We're sort of spread out a little bit. As each time Mike cuts a unit down, it cuts out our striking power to go after Mike's objectives. But we've got to do something. There's the Von Ryan's Leapers. They're available, ready to strike, and we'll see what kind of impact we can make across here. The Neuro Tyrant can make some pretty good psychic attacks. We'll see. We're going to the second turn of the game for the Tyranids. Mike tries to slow them down and cut them down. We'll see if the Tyranids can make any kind of impact as we go on to turn 2 for them next. Alright, so turn 2 movement for the Tyranids. We're trying to muster all the forces that we can for perhaps a final push through the middle of the board. We're up against some tough armoured targets, so that Dreadnought, Peter Grant in command, it's proved to be a real bastion here for the Imperial Fists. So Von Ryan's Leapers have moved around. So here we're going to take on this squad, try and go after this objective as best as we can. Command re-rolled our advanced roll with the Screamer Killer to get it through the pipes. Now, that's pushed through in that direction. Just crossing over and moving through. There's no penalty for doing so, but again, just moving through. So just trying to push through here to try and get an 18-inch range of a number of units that have firepower and psychic attacks. Gaunt shifting up to take this objective, hold this objective. Barb Gaunt's bit out of the pitch here. I pulled them back and it's put them out of the game. So I've advanced and swung them around here, but they'll not be able to shoot this time. And then taking a risk, because he can be shot at, but the winged Tyranid Prime has jumped up here as we're on advanced move. 15 inches diagonal move straight up to the top here, lining himself up to maybe strike next turn. So that is movement done. We'll go on to shooting phase next. So start off with these Gaunts. 4 of them can just about reach the Dreadnought. So we're going to go into him. So we need, not expecting to do too much here, need 4s. Okay, so we've got 2 hits. That is a lethal hit, because a critical hit is an auto wound or a lethal hit because of our adaptation that we chose at the start of the game. It's hyper aggression. Yeah, vehicle monsters. And then we'll try and wound on a 6 with this one, which we don't. Alright, so 1 save to make of 2+. Tough thing. Yeah, okay. So that's the Gaunts finished. I guess we'll go to the Neuro Tyrant next. So the Neuro Tyrant, I think I'm going to go after the Bikers. We can see them just through there. We are in range. So it's going to be 2d6 attacks. We certainly must use a Patriot, Jordan Russell for the Eldar. That'd be another good combination, Eldar against Tyranids. This is the number of shots, 2d6. Okay, so it's 6. We're looking for Oh, it's Torrent. It's range 18. God. So 6 auto hits. Nice. Very nice, actually. We're looking for strength 5, toughness
5, so
4 to wound. Oh boy, and we do get some. Wow. Okay, 5 have made it through. I think there's a bit of AP minus going on. Yeah, it's AP minus 1. Ignores cover as well, so Mike will get 5 dice, leaving 4s. Each one's 2 damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's important enough roll. JMH, Eldar player. Might be able to slay a bike or 2.
You do?
We do. 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. Yeah, we killed 2 bikes. Okay, Neuro Tyrant strikes. And it's been effective enough. So 2 bikers slain. Good shooting. Alright, so we'll go for the Screamer Killer. Now, it's advanced, but its shooting weapon is Bioplasmic Scream, which is an assault weapon. I'm actually going to fire across here. I'm going to try and soften these up. So it's a D6 plus 3 attacks. So we'll go to the artist form known as Vij. This one. Ooh, nice. That's 8. Now we'll need 4s for our hits coming through. We're looking at 4s. 4 hits. Wow. And then we're looking at 2s to wound. Because strength 8. Alright, so 4 come through. These are the just damage 1, and it's AP minus 2.
Nope.
So this model across here can claim cover. He's partially obscured, or not obscured, but partially protected by the terrain. So 1 dice at a time, needing 4s. 2 dice you could do it. You could pair it up, couldn't you? Because only 1 damage. So 4s to protect him. He's gone. And then the rest. 5s for them in the open. Yeah, so 2 models slain. 2 have succumbed to a Psychic Scream attack. Not Psychic Scream. It's some kind of scream. It screams. It's Bioplasmic Scream from that thing. It's also a blast weapon. It's got an extra attack. Mike has 5 models in the squad. And that did hit. And that did wound. It's another save of 5+. Alright, so 1 more wound taken. Okay, so damage taken. The idea was to soften them up and then let the leapers do the rest. So I think shooting phase is finished. So we're going to charges next. Too far away and advanced anyway with the Screamer Killer. No charges across here. So we'll send the Von Ryan's Leapers in. Right, so Von Ryan's Leapers, I've charged them. Roll a 7. Run around here. Remember, this is like a sticky objective, or Mike's in control of it even if he leaves. So I need to clear this and then take that objective to disrupt that one for him. So Von Ryan's Leapers could be a good tactical move here from them. We'll see if we can overwhelm our target. They get fights first, but they've charged anyway, so they're definitely going to go first. Here it's JP squad against the Mephisto squad across here. So we'll resolve this combat, but proper ambush here. Von Ryan's Leapers, the debut unit here for the Tyranids. They've gone in against the Intercessor squad. We'll see how effective they are. Alright, so Maxfield Knuckles attacks. There's 6 attacks each. Looking for 3s. Some 1s and 2s. Loads of 1s and 2s. Oh dear. They are strength 5, toughness 4. So 3s to wound. And there's a... Oh, it's not good, not good. Poor dice rolling here. Just the 4 make it through. 4 saves of 4+. Will not get the wipeout against this squad. 4 saves needing 4s. That was Maxfield Knuckles dice rolling that. Mike's turn to Darren Gardner for help. Darren Gardner player, tough enough.
So 4s?
Yeah, 4s. Oh, he's blocked 3. Oh, boy, it's enough to kill 1. So that's him, has to go. That wound comes off. Then for consolidation, we have to try and go into base contact if we can. So I'll roll around here with JP. And that's Mephisto's squad. Nothing to stop Mike from just attacking back. They're 3 attacks each. There's no bonus for sergeants or anything like that anymore. 6 attacks in total, needing 3s. Stealth only applies for shooting. Nathan Paxton, Ultramarines player. Good rolling. The Imperial Fist dice do match him well with the Imperial Fists. 5s for wounds though. He gets 4. Oh boy. we'll go for 4+ armor saves. We blocked 2. That's not bad, but those 2 wounds is enough to... Oh, come on, reroll. Yeah, go on then. Come on, reroll. Alright, we block it, so we just take 1 wound. It keeps that extra model alive. I thought that was worth doing. I just don't want to see those leapers go. So that's that model slain across there, and that's that combat result. Vicious fight taking place over on this flank. Alright, so turn comes to an end. There's nothing to... we don't calculate victory points now. It's at the start of Mike's command phase, or at the end of Mike's command phase for victory points. So we'll leave it at this point. There's no morale to resolve either. That's all dealt with at the start of Mike's next turn, which there will be morale down here. This unit's below half strength.
And the bikes.
And the bikes as well. Yeah, a bit of battle shocking to check for. We'll go on to turn 3. Now, for the Imperial Fists, Tyranids have made a bid for the middle here, trying to kick out some damage, which they have. They've disrupted an objective across here, so a few things going their way. But Mike's got a turn to come, and that Dreadnought could be the model to save the day. We'll see. We're going to turn 3 for the Space Marines next. Alright, so movement here on turn 3 for the Space Marines. They've got a counterpunch here against the Tyranids. Just watching this game, really starting to turn the cogs and the thought process here for both the Tyranids and the Imperial Fists. I've got a list from 9th edition coming over. We'll see how effective that will be for 10th. For the Tyranids, this particular Hive Fleet is a completely fresh start. I've got some nice themed ideas with some unique units that have never been seen on the channel before to bring those across for this Hive Fleet Leviathan army. So plan to do what we call army development videos. That's where a brand new list is submitted over on YouTube channel membership, and then members can leave their own comments and feedback, help and adapt and change the list. Unit sizes, combinations, bring in different units, really change things around. And quite often those things are taken into consideration. It helps shape and form lists as they develop and build up before they're seen here on YouTube. So that's one of the exclusive videos that is available on channel membership. Plan to do that for Space Marines, for the Imperial Fist. There's Red Scorpions as well, and then the Hive Fleet Leviathan Tyranids here as well. Got a list drawn up, which I think would be good fun. Nice bit of variety, including all the units that you can see here, plus a whole load more, all being well. So, Mike's pulled out a close combat across here. He's not battle shocked, he's fine, he passed, so he's been able just to pull away from the Von Ryan's Leapers. So you played a No. It's a combat doctrine.
Tactical doctrine. This unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. Perfect timing. And it's going to be supported by another squad across here. So Mike hoping to completely flush the Von Ryan's Leapers away. Heavy Intercessors and the Captain to hang around across here. We're here. Yeah, okay, yeah, good manoeuvring. So these originally on turn 1 were across there on that objective. That remains under Mike's control because they left it, but the special rule for Intercessors, they've been able to shift across to another part of the battlefield. So good tactical stuff going on. Our attacks with these, Mike's counter-attack is going to be spearheaded by the Peter Grant Dreadnought, Chaplain Ray Cross, and then Dylan Moore adds the Biker Sergeant in the Paint Lickers Paint Pot Squad. So... no psychic phase here for 10th edition. We're going to go straight on to shooting. This is it. It's going to climax here in the middle of the board. Mike's going to rely mostly on firepower, but he does have close combat as a backup option for sure. We'll go on to shooting phase next. Don't get cover.
Storm of Fire's been played on these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike's reroll hit rolls and win rolls is on the Screamer Killer, obviously.
And then Reds of Battle.
On those, that's from the captain. Yeah.
So they'll also get the Storm of Fire.
Okay. I think Mike's quite enjoying using the Imperial Fist. There's some good perks to the Space Marines. The Oath of Moment's particularly deadly. It's very, very... reroll hits and win rolls with everything you have against a particular unit. It just spells doom. You just dread it. I dread where he's going to place the marker. It's a very strong tactic here for the Space Marines.
So I want to start with these guys here first.
These ones?
Yeah, shooting at the lictors.
Yeah.
So you're -1 to hit.
Yeah, so 4s.
So 4s. There you go then. Sorts that out.
Oh, missed, right, okay.
Yeah.
10 shots for the next squad.
Yeah. 8 And 10 going into the same unit.
I was going to say for a crack grenade, but it doesn't work that way anymore. It's a stratagem, isn't it, for grenades?
So, 4s.
4s of hits, yeah. It's quite hard to gun these things down. They're tough enough.
Yeah.
Mike's got a lot of hits, though. So try and wind on 5s.
5s, yeah.
Just the 2?
Just the 2.
-1. 5 pluses. Nope and nope. So we'll let him go. Von Ryan's Leaper gone, JP squad, and we'll put a wound on another. Okay.
Then we are going to...
Heavy intercessors are available. Dreadnought's available with its 5 power plus the bikers. Just had a realisation with him. What we could have done, just trying to adapt to 10th edition. Fire Overwatch. When your opponent's movement or charge phase, you can overwatch in the movement phase just after an enemy unit is set up, or when an enemy unit starts or ends at a normal, advance, or fallback or charge move. So it's unit within 24, and you can shoot at them. You do need 6s for hits, but this thing's a torrent weapon. It's an autos. So after Mike finished moving the bikes, for example, we're going to hit it with a torrent of attacks coming through, also hitting them, firing Overwatch for a CP. That's something to bear in mind. That could be utterly deadly and cause those bikers and Chaplain a lot of trouble. But lesson learnt. We'll tuck that one in our back pocket for next time. Some very interesting dynamics going on with 10th edition. Some key things to remember that can have a big impact on the game. But being able to fire Overwatch in the opponent's movement phase could be quite crucial. Could have quite an impact in games, but need to remember to do it. So who's next?
The bikers.
The bikers, yeah, but a deck are available from them.
Because the chaplains beside them with catechism of fire.
Yes.
So within 12 inches, select one enemy unit within 12 inches. Any ranged weapons have the devastating wounds ability.
Okay.
So I'm going to target your
Neuro Tyrant. Yeah, it's not protecting, just a few wounds left.
So the normal bike. So the twin bolt rifle, 3s.
Okay.
1 hit.
Is it rapid fire?
Twin linked.
Just twin linked, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you reroll on your wounds. 6s.
6s, yeah. No, reroll it.
It's twin linked.
No.
No. So it's equipped with a pistol, but that can't be fired alongside other weapons, not for bikers at least. So we're going to the Chaplain next.
Yep. So 2 shots.
Snake Eyes, no hits from him. That's that done. So just looking at the size of the game, it's quite a nice spread across the board. There's a good number of units on the table. And this is around about 750 points in total. So even a 1,000-point game, you know, the Tyranids could have a couple of extra units. I think they're getting a unit of gargoyles to go with him, plus another unit of some kind. And then what we left out here for the Imperial Fist is that there's an ATV that could have gone with the bikers. And then I'm working on a unit of Eradicators, for example, that could have gone with them as well. That would have filled out the army quite good. So a 1,000-point game, I think it's a good size. And 1,500 points would be really good. But 2,000 points, let's see what kind of size armies come up from that. But it's more than doubling what you're seeing here on the board. So we'll press on. Mike's itching to get going with.
So these two can only see the
Neuro Tyrant, yes.
So Captain, 2 shots, 2s, 2 hits.
Okay.
5s.
Okay. The rest of the models, by the way, going into the Carnifex or Screamer Killer.
And the other dude that can see.
5s to wound.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Okay, so the heavy bolter, 3s because they've stood still.
Correct.
Full hit.
5s to wound again.
5s to wound.
Yes, got it.
Reroll it. Oh.
Yeah, it's because Mike's firing against the Carnifex, which he's got the rerolls on. Toughness 9, yeah, so it would be 5s to win, that's fine. So how many in total? 2?
1.
1. I'll go for Jackal for the save. So -1.
-1. Yeah.
3+, quite doable. Come on, yes! It starts on a 2-up save, this thing. Screamer Killer's a tough nut to crack. There it is, lined up against the Dreadnought. Good start to the edition here on the channel to have these two lined up against each other.
And we'll go Chris Heim on the last 4 into them.
Imperial Fists, by the way, if you like the look of them, they've been pro-painted by Siege Studios. You can check them out for your own painted commission work. They've done a superb job. The latest model to come through from them is this Dreadnought. Actually, it's its debut. The Peter Grant Dreadnought's never been used in a game, so off to a flying start here.
So 2s because they haven't moved.
Okay.
You're rolling. And 5s.
You're rolling.
It's not going too well.
Oh, just the one. Another 3-up save required. Yes. Okay, yeah, damage is not coming through here, and obviously the Dreadnought remains. Its firepower is available. If Mike doesn't gun this thing down, you'll probably have to go after it in close combat, which he stands a good enough chance of destroying it. But
I'm not spitting fire, so everyone's just going to go and do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
All the best. All the best, Mike. No pressure. Okay. He's got a longbow BB for this one as well.
So the Egros rocket pod, D3, just the one.
It certainly doesn't fly as it's normal wounding.
So 3s.
3s.
Rerolling.
Okay.
And strength 8.
Toughness 9.
5s.
5's to wound.
Rerolling. Nope.
No. Okay.
2, 4, 6, 8.
This is Mike's first time against the new Screamer Killer.
Onslaught Gatling Cannon.
Yep.
3s.
Rerolling everything. It's not sustained hits at all, that thing.
No.
Okay. 5's to wound.
Devastating wounds.
Oh, is it? 6s are good then.
Yeah.
6s are really good. Ah, he's got 2. Go. Just straight up 2 mortal wounds.
So I need 5s. Or I need 6s, don't I?
Yeah, sorry. Mike's going to re-roll his wounds. Fishing for 6s. 5s are good. Another wound comes through. Is there a -1 on that one?
Yeah. No. Sorry, no.
Passed. All right, 2 mortal wounds taken. Well done. That's a start. That takes me down to 8 wounds left. It all helps. It all helps. Yeah, Fragstorm grenade launchers, yeah. So that's number of shots coming through. Looking for 3s. Re-rolling. Looking for 6s. Come on. 2-up save. Passed. Onto the big gun.
Yep.
Right, we're onto the no pressure gun.
Yep.
Mike's a carry on longbow. All of the gold level shooting for him's been dedicated
D6.
to him.
5.
So 5, Mike's happy. 6 shots. This should be it. But it all depends on Mike's dice rolling. Well, this is a casual game. It's fine. We're just having a laugh here. So, yo, full house of hits. Trying to wound though. What are we looking at?
Strength 9.
Strength 9. Toughness 9.
4s.
4s. How interesting.
Rerolling.
3 go through. This is really good news. And 1 more goes through. Excellent news. Well done, Mike. So we're looking at
-4.
No way. I'm going to go. -4. I get 6s to block. So it's too late for rapid regeneration. My reasoning was to hang on to this, because I got 1 CP. I was going to hang on to it for something else, another strategy I had my eye on. So I didn't play rapid regeneration. But it's put us in trouble here, because Mike's got, crucially, 4 wounds coming through. So for me to survive, you'll damage 3.
Flat 3, yeah.
I need double 6. It's as simple as that. And of course I shall. We'll turn to the Chris Comiskey, of course, he's a Tyranid player. Why not? Double 6. Oh, drop dice. Nope, not even one. And there's nothing I can do. You destroyed him. Oh, the Screamer Killer. Duh, it's got Deadly Demise. Yeah, we'll roll up here. No, it's fine, but target's gone. Duh, destroyed. That Dreadnought is a bane. A standard Redemptor Dreadnought is excellent. It really is quite good.
When you combine it with Oath of the Moment.
Exactly. No, it works. It works really well. Okay. Granted, Mike said 2 turns of high output of shots from the main gun, but the Macroplasma Incinerator is a brilliant weapon. And when combined with reroll hits and wounds, it turns fantastic. Do you want to do a hazardous test?
Oh, yes. Pass. I've seen the one as it was going.
Okay. That's a deal breaker, that one. Then that Dreadnought's now eliminated the main threat that Tyranids had. A lot of soft stuff across here, where I've got the ability to even bring that Dreadnought down. So this is very good work here from the Imperial Fist. But that Dreadnought's been it's a real backbone part of this Space Marine army. It's pushed ahead here boldly, and it's paid off. Yeah, so shooting phase is finished. What a way to finish. We'll go on to charges next. We've got some aggressive units here that are happy enough to go into the Tyranids. All right, so charges taking place. Technically, you're not allowed to stack models up here, but we're just going to let this go ahead just for the bushes. They squash those, no problem. So Mike's charged, multi-charge, charged here. I guess we'll charge the Dreadnought first, just to make sure Overwatch didn't come from this thing. Didn't want to use the Overwatch on this vehicle. So he's gone in against the Neuro Tyrant. Then the biker's charged against here, and it's 5 inches vertical. So Mike's also made contact with the Tyranid Prime. And then both squads have gone in against the Von Ryan Sleepers. So Mike's going to try and eradicate those. Just use the butts of their rifles just to stamp them out of existence if he can. If this goes well for the Space Marines, this could well break this Tyranid army. So the way this works, who fights first? The units that have the fights first ability is the 2 charging units across here, both of Mike's charging units across here, but also the Von Ryan's Leapers. So you then go to who fights out of all of those. It's the player whose turn it is not, which is me, and in which case it's the Von Ryan Leapers to go first. We'll go for this unit across here, the healthy unit. So looking for 3s. We're looking for 3s. And it's not bad at all. 7 saves of 4+ on that squad. Nicholas Lucas for attacks, yeah. Or for saves, yeah.
Saves, yeah. 4s.
It's a good roll, Mike. 3 have made it through. So model slain and a wound on another. So that's the Michael Fryer squad. That's that done. So Mike can now pick a unit to fight first with, which will be all of his stuff that's charged. So there's no danger of me interrupting or anything. Across here, I've only got 1 CP available. So Redemptor first to crush the Neuro Tyrant. I think 1 successful do it. I've got 3 wounds left. Yeah, you're just you're just okay. We'll play that and do a Feel No Pain of 5+ just to try and survive.
I'll take you first.
Yeah.
Like
Fryer, Space Marines, do it. Yep. Purge the Xenos scum.
So 3s.
Ooh, 111.
12 strength.
3s to wound.
2.
To make it through. Okay. Yeah.
-2, 3 damage.
Yeah, 4+ invulnerable save. Alright, I'll turn to Dave Humphries. He is a Tyranids and Gene Stealer Colts player. Got a good feeling about this. Yeah, we do block 1. So you cause 3 damage. A simple Feel No Pain is what I planned might happen. A simple Feel No Pain will keep us in the fight. Go! Oh, no. Oh, does it have a deadly demise? It does not. It just withers away. Oh, what a tragic shame. We'll take away these 2 little floating things that don't seem to do very much. Oh, it's a shame. Okay. I like the Neuro Tyrant. It's an interesting concept. Looks very cool in the trailer as well for 10th edition. That's Ben Shaw. Target destroyed. Another Phoenix Lord gone. So, Dreadnought to remain where he is. Mike will go on to the next close combat. Across here.
I'll get them boys out of the way, yeah.
Okay. 12 attacks with the squad across here.
3s, because you're not minus.
No, stealth's just for shooting, yeah. So 3s. Okay. And we're looking for 4s. 5s.
What's your toughness?
Toughness 5.
Alright, 5s then.
Yeah. Just the one. It's hard enough to win these things. We do block it on a 4. 4 up armor save. Nice. Well done, Von Ryan's Leapers. A bit of a menace, these things. And then Mike's looking for 6 attacks to the other squad. Looking for 3s. And then looking for 5s. 2. 4 ups. Block both of those. What a pain they are. Okay. The bikers next. People might be wondering what I saved the CP4, where I didn't do the Overwatch. It was when Mike charged in against the Carnifex. I could have played strategy for 1 CP for Death Frenzy here. 1 CP in the fight phase just after an unit has selected its targets. Target is 1 Tyranids unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more of your attacking units' attacks. On a 4+, I don't remove the model for play. I get to fight before I'm removed. So I could have attacked with the Screamer Killer against the Dreadnought to see what I could have done. I think I still would have struggled to destroy it because you're -1 damage. Yeah, so still would have been tough enough. How many wounds is that thing? The Redemptor?
12.
12. Yeah. Good solid unit.
Toughness 10, 2 up save, 12 wounds.
And -1 damage.
-1 damage.
Oh, that's a solid choice. Very good.
I'm just going to put everything into the Hive Tyrant.
The Prime.
Prime.
Okay, yeah, the chaplain's in base contact with the base of him. He's 5 inches up, so he can attack. So it's 5 inches height for that terrain, so Mike can go ahead and do that.
So 5 attacks with the Outrider.
Yeah, just to people know, but he's not attached to any units individual, so Mike can go straight for him.
So 3s. Strength 4. Toughness.
Toughness 5 at least. Yeah, toughness 5.
So 5s.
Yeah. And
then the chaplain brings it to 4s. Add 1 to the win roll.
Fine. Yeah. Useful.
2.
Do you make it 3?
-1.
So -1. The Prime has a save 4+, save 5s. And no one knows. So 2 wounds caused on him. I do have my ability. I paid for it. It's my adaptive biology. So 5+, feel no pain. We block 1, so we do take a wound. And the Prime drops to just 5 wounds left. So it's starting to take some damage.
And then the chaplain.
The chaplain, okay, see how well he gets on.
So he's on 2s. He's the Red Cross one.
Ah, he's going to use the Red Cross dice, yeah.
That's what I wanted to save it for.
Mike had this planned all along. Looking for 3s.
2s. And then this is strength.
I got a feeling you're going to be +2, yeah. It's toughness 5, so 3s to win.
Down
Then
to
+1. 2s to win. How very useful the chaplain is. And it's damage 2 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, 3, make it through. Okay, we'll go for Andreas Stur for this one. He's a Xenos player. Looking for...
It's only -1 on that.
5s. Important roll. Very important roll. We block 1. That means I take 4 damage. I'll stay alive, but I feel no pain of 5+. We should block another 1, but we take 3 more wounds. So we drop down to 2 wounds left. So my feel no pain now increases to 4+ with him as this frenzied thing tries to stay alive.
You fight back right then?
I get to fight back. Okay. Right. So we'll go here. We've pushed, we've piled in with some models that we can against the bikers. 7 of them can fight, not all of them. Looking for 4s. Looking for 5s. 1 save of 3 up on the biker squad. Fine. Okay, done. We'll go on to the winged Prime next. So we're looking at 2s to hit with 6 attacks. Then we're looking at 3s to wound. Strength 6, toughness 5. Oh no. -1. So Mike can put both those saves onto the biker sergeant because it's not going to get through to the chaplain there.
Yep.
So -1. Ah, passed both. Well done. Bikers withstand the counter punch from the winged prime. So the prime does get sustained hits whilst this model is leading a unit. I don't think I do actually, because I'm not leading a unit. Weapons equipped by models in that unit have the sustained hits ability. So I think the model itself would get sustained hits because it's models within that unit. So they're all part of that unit. But I have to be leading the unit to get the bonus, which I don't think we do. So we didn't roll any 6s anyway, but I don't think we get 6s popping extra for him. So that's his attacks done. Frank moved out of the way, by the way. He's over there. He's just staying out of the fight for now, letting the Primaris units deal with the problem. I think Mike has the upper hand. Space Marines doing better. Tyranids having lost some of their key creatures here. These are the 3 sort of main ones for them. Mike's dealt with all 3 now. So what's left for the Tyranids isn't particularly strong. So the Space Marines have the upper hand. Okay, so turn comes to an end. As we've seen already for 10th edition, it's different. We're not calculating any victory points for this particular mission. Not morale to resolve. There is nothing for the Tyranids. Nothing's below half strength across here. Von Ryan's Leapers are still over half strength. So there's not really a battle shock test for them. Tyranids are set still to pick up, thanks to the gaunts, to pick up 2 victory points for the objectives that we control. But time is running out for them. If Mike continues to be successful across here, he could sweep the Tyranids away from this objective. We'll go on to turn 3. The middle stage of the battle here, but I think we're starting to get a bit of a conclusion. We're going to turn 3 for the Tyranids next. Alright, so moving here for the Tyranids on their 3rd turn. We've stayed in close combat with the Prime. It teeters on the brink of destruction. There's only 2 wounds left. Gaunts are pulled out of close combat. Barbed gaunts are pushed forward. We're trying to crowd models around the objective just for objective control, anticipating that Mike's going to try and shoot and clear models away. So yeah, it all hangs in the balance across here. Then I forgot to move this unit, shifting them across here to lend some firepower support across in this direction. And the Von Ryan's Leapers to carry on the fight in close combat. I think we'll see how they do. They're quite hard to kill here, so we'll press on with them. So that's movement done. We'll go on to shooting phase next. 7 shots with the gaunts into the Dreadnought. 6s are good. There's 2 auto wounds because of our adaptation that we chose. And then we're going to try and wound on 6s. There's another 1. No OP minus. 3 saves of 2+. This thing's a brutal thing. 1 more save, Mike. Sorry. One
more. This will be the 1. No.
Good for you. Passed. Alright. Barb gaunts. So 5d6 attacks.
Let's see.
So 15 attacks in total with barb gaunts. 4s to hit. 6 is auto wound. So that's quite useful. I was hoping for things like the Screamer Killer and close combat attacks was what I was going to use it for. And then we'll try and wound here on 5s. So Mike's got 5 saves in total to make no AP minus going on, so 5 saves of 2+. This Dreadnought's going to last forever. Oh, 2 1s. Alright, it's dropping down to 10 wounds left. Yeah, give me 5 more turns and we can do it. So, Peter Current Dreadnought. We fired everything we could at it, and that's it. That shooting phase finished. And no charges. We're going to combats next. So, combats.
What's the AP on it?
-1.
-1.
You're going to play your stratagem? Oh, yeah.
Just reduce your AP.
Yes. Oh, okay, very good. Yes, yes. So we're looking for fights first units. No one's charged, but the Leapers get fights first built in. So they're going to go first. In 3s, we're attacking the same unit as before. And we're going to try and wound on 3s. 5 saves. Mike of -0 because of the stratagem that's been played.
2, 4, 5.
5 saves of 3+.
Oh, definitely not. Blood Angels Scott.
Scott Costello, Blood Angels player.
2, 4, 5. 5 free ups.
Yep. Passed them all except 1. That's helped out a lot. You've actually managed to keep a model alive there. So it's that model slain that's taken a wound. It would have been another, but the stratagem helped preserve one of the models. So after the fights first have all been resolved, we go on to normal combats. It's the player whose turn it is not, so that's Mike. So I take it he's going to pick the bikers across here. try and strip off the last few wounds from the Tyranid Prime. It may have been an idea to bug him out of close combat here, but it's too late. He's stuck in combat.
So I'll start with the Red Cross Chaplain.
Chaplain, yeah.
Yeah.
Vagabond.
Vagabond, yeah.
For the attacks.
So 2s.
A fellow Phoenix Lord. To slay the Prime.
Oh.
3s to wound.
+1 to the wound roll.
2s to wound. How useful that Chaplain is buried in that unit. Yeah, they all come through. -1.
-1, 2 damage.
5 ups. Michael German. Need to pass them. Oh. We pass none. Damage, 6 damage in total.
6 damage, yeah.
Oh, the last fling of the dice. Come on, reroll.
Yay.
Yay, passed. So that means 4 damage comes through, right?
Yep.
4 up, feel no pains. Against the odds. Not today. Blah. Okay, and there's another little rule for this thing. Death blow. If this model is destroyed by melee attack, if it has not fought this phase, roll 1d6. 4 plus gets to fight. Okay, so 4 plus. We'll go here. Travis and Jen. I know they're meant to share, but they can share in the roll, share in the glory. The Tyranid Prime, struck by the Chaplain, decides that today is not the day to fight.
If you'd rolled Jen, now you'd have been alright.
Ah, no. Travis and Jen, hang on a second. They're Tyranids players. Ah, we tried. We tried. There's the Prime. I mounted it on top. Yeah, I put it on top of this rock across here. I just wanted it perched up higher. The reason behind that is I'm thinking of running it with gargoyles. It says here that you can give it to warriors with melee weapons or ranged weapons, but also a squad of gargoyles. I think it was particularly cool just to have a flock of seagulls like floating around this thing. And the cool thing about gargoyles, been looking at the profile for them, is that they have endless multitude, so you can use a stratagem to add D3+3 models back. So the idea is these swirling gargoyles going around this model, acting as a bodyguard, and if some get shot and blown away, you just restore them back to play, just keeping this thing alive. It would have served him better in that combat, wouldn't it? It would have protected him, killing gargoyles, and then me restoring him back to play. So that combo would have worked out quite well for trying to preserve this model. But it's not to be. He's on his own. The gargoyles are on my painting desk, but they've not made it in time. And so the Prime has been cut down, sadly. It's not the best model the Tyranids have, but I think with the gargoyles, if it can be bodyguarded and protected, I think it's a lot better. So it's gone. That's Lucas Brown, Phoenix Lord, removed from play. So target destroyed. Well done to the bikers. Good work from them. 9 attacks with the Marines across here. The Leapers now find themselves bogged down in close combat, looking for 3s.
3s, yeah.
They're looking for 5s. Quadruple 6. 4 ups. Ah, horrendous. We'll leave the wound marker where it is and pass it on to the next model and remove another whole one of those from play. I think that's the Reapers complete, or the Leapers completely blunted. 6 attacks for the other squad, yeah. 3s. 5s. Mike rolls really well here. It's just the one, again, isn't saved. Another wound taken. So the Leapers now just for the 1 wound left. Good fighting from the Marines. Refusing to yield here. They're fighting tooth for now for that objective, and they're overwhelming what's left of that squad. And across here, it's all soft stuff now. Mike can cut his way through this stuff with Daka and close combat when it comes to his turn. So it looks like the Tyranids, the end is nigh for them. So turn 3 comes to an end for the Tyranids. I do think that they're broken now. We've just been projecting ahead of what could happen. So when we go around to Mike's turn 4, he'll get 2 victory points for his objectives that he controls. And then when we come around to Tyranid turn 4, I reckon Mike will have cleared this one and taken it, so we'll get 1 victory point. And then on the final turn of the game, Mike will most likely control this one and the other 2. So he can go up to 3 victory points. So he'll take 3, and then I'll either control 1 or 0. So Mike will win by 2 clear points. So That's the way it's going to go here. Mike's got a turn. We'll see what he can do. We'll let him unleash with firepower, close combat shooting, but the idea is that he should be able to wipe out Tyranid resistance across here, and that'll lead to a Space Marine victory. Alright, so we're on turn 4 for the Space Marines. There was a bit of a scary moment. Battle shock. Not really. This squad here's got 3 left. There was no test for them.
Oh, well, I don't know.
So they're okay. Yeah, we're worried about these failing and then not picking up the victory points. But Mike doesn't test for those. He tested for those and passed. Roll 7. Across here, we reckon you roll separately for the units even though they're attached, we think, but correct us if we're wrong. Biker's actually failed, but it doesn't matter. Tyranids for now hold this objective anyway. So that's battle shock's done. And then Mike's going to allocate a unit for destruction, and then we'll let him make his moves. So movement done. Squads across here, heavy intercessors and the captain holding position. Maintaining position across here. Dreadnought pushing through, getting ready to shoot and charge. Chaplain and bike getting ready to shoot and charge. So that's movement done. Shooting phase next. Alright, so we've gone on to shooting phase here. It's been impressive from the Space Marines. Pistols drawn here and took off the last wound from the leaper. So that's cleared that objective. Firepower from this was actually directed across against this squad of gaunts, decimating them, killing 7 in total. And then... I know what it was, yeah. The barb gaunts, they were wiped out by the heavy intercessors across the other side. The heavy bolter, I think got 4 wounds coming through in total, so a couple of sustained hits coming through and some wounds, and then just cutting through my armour. Save, I was rolling 5s that fouled them all, so just cut those down, and then 2 shots each coming through, and again the strength 5 proving to be useful enough for picking up wounds. Again, fouled number of saves, barb gaunts destroyed entirely. So excellent shooting from that squad, good long range firepower support from them. So I wanted them that way back in the previous edition to act as like an anchor unit, and they're proving to be useful in that regard here in 10th edition. So working their way nicely into the list. The bikers across here, Dakar, taking out a few of the gaunts. We're going to stop the game at this point. Mike's going to charge all this stuff into 7 gaunts. They stand not a hope at all. And then on the following turn, all that Mike has against 3 gaunts. I don't know. I could do 1 gaunt against each of your models, couldn't I? Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, so that's that loss. We've lost across here, got nothing left. So the battle's over. Space Marines have crushed the Tyranids in this first encounter. That gives hope for the Imperium. Chaos on the rise. Xenos factions popping up all over the place. But 10th edition begins with a resounding Space Marine victory. Hoorah. So, Space Marines have themselves a win. But what about the game? 10th edition. Let us know what you think in the comments section about this battle, and from what you've seen already of 10th edition. There's plenty of reviews. There's some battle reports out there already. I would say it's quite hard to gauge at this stage because we're the headache of trying to learn a whole new way of doing things. But the dynamic of the game seems all right. Cover seems straightforward. The way units operate. We didn't flick through a codex once.
Didn't need to.
Because didn't need to. Couldn't anyway. There are no codexes. But everything we needed... Well, no, 80% of the time what we needed was here. And then there was just some universal rules to learn off by heart, isn't there? So, you know, lethal hits, devastating wounds, and so on. But you'd soon pick those up. So not too much of a problem at all. And I'm sure you just learned the stat lines off by heart for your different units, which all seemed okay. You got a stat line across here. The odd extra rule to learn, not too significant. For army rules, not very complex. You got your stratagems. I've pretty much learned what the 6 of them are. Yeah, Mike's just saying it's just on a couple of sides of card for all the rules that you need. So straightforward enough. So there is certainly some good aspects to 10th edition for sure. I think perhaps the enjoyment of it, the depth of it, the scope of the edition will take a while to come through. We need to get some games up and running, try out the different factions and so on, learn the rules, get a bit more streamlined, and then give a better judgment on 10th edition. Maybe 10th edition is more like 9th edition, 9.5 perhaps.
I'd say 9.5 at the minute.
Yeah, it's not drastic enough for a complete reinvention of the game, but certainly some significant changes and some subtle ones as well, like firing Overwatch in the movement phase. There's some clever little bits that can be done with that. So certainly a learning curve involved here. Space Marine's looking strong enough. Looking forward to developing this army. There's a big chunk on the way from Siege Studios. Love to get these to 2,000 points quick enough to get these operational for 10th edition. That'd be great. Love the Imperial Fist, love the colour scheme and the paint job on these. Great to have them fully represented on the channel. And then for the Tyranids, I've painted up half an army. It's sort of record time, usually more of a measured pace, but I've pushed to get these done. With half an army finished, I think it'd be a great idea to get the Tyranids up to 2,000 points for High Fleet Leviathan. There is a way that you can help to do this. There is a link in the video description below for the Outpost. That's discount 40k. You can pick up all your 10th edition stuff from them, paints and accessories, other gaming systems, all at a discounted rate. When you use the unique link that's in the video description below, that's a referral link. We get a bit of kickback from that in the form of vouchers that we can then use to get a hold of models. And I reckon I could plough that in to getting this Tyranid army up and running at 2,000 points. So you can help us out. It doesn't cost you anything to use that link, but it just means we get a little bit of help for the channel here, and we can then use that to get more Tyranids for this Tyranid army. And if you're a Tyranid player, you'll be happy to do that. And if you're an Imperial player, you'll be happy to do that because it means you can watch them being blown off the board by Imperial armies, perhaps the Imperial Fist. But they've set a standard here, the Imperial Fist. They've proved tough and resilient, and they've packed some main punch with shooting and some decent units to back up in close combat as well. So a good day out for the Imperial Fists. I think they've done well, and they will clear the sector, for now at least, of the Tyranid Scourge. So that's the battle. I'll call out silver level patrons. That's Gilliman's Golden Boy, Jason Martinez, Marcus Olsen, Ross Culber, William Schwal, Zachary Lee, Zachary Lyons, Justin Hay. Big thanks to them for their support at silver level. Keep a lookout for more content on the channel. More bad reports on the way for 10th edition. If you've enjoyed the game, do leave us a thumbs up, drop a comment. Anything we've missed or needs clarification, then do leave a comment in the video description. Before you go, units of the game. I give it to the Neuro Tyrant. It's got potential. It's not it's going to be the best unit the Tyranids have, but it's okay. Good supporting unit. And dangerous enough for that torrent attack. And then Mike's going to go for the Dreadnought. Obviously, it smashed its way through here. Fantastic firepower at different parts of the battlefield. And then just smashing its way through the middle of the board. Certainly helping the Space Marines achieve victory. And keeping the Tyranids off the back of Mike's deployment zone and units across here. Just the Dreadnought had to be dealt with. The Tyranids certainly struggled against it. That's units of the game for both sides. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.